We're not only dealing with a broken immigration system, we're dealing with a broken immigration system that was dismantled in its entirety in the prior administration. And so we're rebuilding it.
Blaming the situation, the tragedy, it's no longer a crisis, the tragedy at the southern border on the previous administration. That was Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas yesterday. He will face the House Judiciary Committee later this morning after his department said that they have effectively managed the crisis at the border. And as you just heard, that they inherited the problems from the previous administration. For more on this crisis and the future of Title 42, let's welcome back in Newsmax border correspondent Jason Jones, live this morning in Alpine, Texas. Jason, good morning.
Well, good morning to you. It's good to be with you this morning. We have been extremely busy down here over the last day and a half. And I want you to just take a listen real quick to Assistant Chief Stacy Holland. I asked him about what they're seeing down here and how what he believes is going to impact the American people, because we're seeing unprecedented immigration. But take a listen to what he had to say.
I would want them to know that we have a real problem on our hands, you know, and that I'm a dad also. And I'm out here fighting for their kids and for my kids and for all of our families to protect them. And if we don't take the enforcement actions that we've been taking, and one pill of deadly fentanyl gets through, and that 13 and 14-year-old first-time drug user takes that pill and dies, she's not coming back. And that's the personal toll that it will take in an individual family, and has 100-something thousand times this year. That's what I want them to think about.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what he was trying to come across with there is that what they're seeing out here in West Texas is something much more than just an immigration issue. There is a totality of just overwhelming crimes against the state of Texas, whether that's pursuits, whether that is bailouts, or whether it's the drug trafficking. You know, yesterday we tracked with them for about 4 hours, chasing 5 drug smugglers. Ultimately, all 5 got away, but we did recover 1 bundle that they dropped. In addition to that, as soon as they stopped working that, Rob, they switched over and ended up catching 10 individuals who were running through the desert, been in the desert 4 days before they were captured. And it is just one of many groups. Now, right now, we're getting ready to get an intelligence briefing from what they call the Unified Command. Then we're going to go back out and chase these other groups. But it is back-to-back bodies, and it is also back-to-back drugs crossing out here in West Texas. And I just want to say one last thing to this. As the secretary yesterday is testifying that, you know, we're seeing things that we've never seen before, and it's hard to determine how many people are coming and what's not. We have the largest and best U.S. intelligence agencies in the world. Make no doubt, it's not difficult, and I can tell you as somebody that's been behind that curtain and knows this very well, we know the numbers of people coming from Panama and South America and Central America, but well before they hit our country. That's how they're able to give you some of the predictions of 18,000 predicted per day. So I don't know where he's making some of these statements when we have such fine intelligence agencies. The problem is this, is that information doesn't reach the American people, as this immigration crisis literally is getting out of control and our border continues to degrade. Back to you.
The numbers are shocking. And the backdrop of everything you just said is the fact that 2 drug smugglers were saved by a 22-year-old Texas National Guard member, Bishop Evans, who lost his life trying to do that, died completely unnecessarily. And that's just another chapter to the story of this tragedy that we're witnessing at the southern border. Jason Jones, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm appalled by the fact that it has been a year since you sat before us last, and the only change regarding the situation at the southwest border is that the situation has got much worse. This administration's lax policies and opening the borders not just allow immigration to occur, it has opened the floodgates for nefarious activity and burdened the DS agencies that have the responsibility to respond. This just isn't affecting the border, but it's also affecting local and state law enforcement all across America, not just border states.
Pretty powerful comments right there coming from our next guest, grilling DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas yesterday on Capitol Hill. That was Mississippi Congressman and member of the House Committee on Appropriations, Stephen Palazzo. Congressman, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us. Great to have you on the show. I'm wondering what your take was on Secretary Mayorkas' performance yesterday and some of the comments that he made. Not only did he blame this on the previous administration, but he said that his team has got the situation at the border under control.
His performance was, great if you were just allowing him to lie through his teeth about the border and about the previous administration, about he's effectively managing the situation. If he's basically effectively destroying the safety and security of our nation. You've had so many conversations. I was listening to about fentanyl. And we're talking about, we can handle the women and children. We can process them. We can, return them to their home countries. But what really concerns me, as it did with that public safety officer from Texas, was the nefarious activity. The transnational criminal organizations, the cartels, the human traffickers, the drug traffickers. Last year alone, they seized 11,000 pounds of fentanyl. And we're talking about, we've had record number of overdoses last year, and many of those were directly related to fentanyl drugs.
Do you think it's, so when we look at what the Biden administration has done during their time in office, basically it's bad policy followed by the courts getting involved. We saw it with Remain in Mexico. We saw it with the eviction moratorium. We saw it with Title 42. Who knows if that remains, that Louisiana judge doing that, saying Title 42 has to stay in place. But do you think that is going to be how this plays out ultimately with Title 42? Because this is not good news for Democrats who are running for re-election in November either.
Well, it's not. And, when I was on the border last May, and the Border Patrol agents were begging us to keep these policies in place. So I don't understand what Mayorkas was saying about they inherited a dismantled system. I felt like we were securing the border. We were much safer when we had the policies that were put into effect under President Trump and the Republican Congress. So I don't know where he was getting his information from, but Title 42, the Remain in Mexico policy, the wall, more boots, technology, we need all these things, and we need them now to protect and secure our border and protect Americans.
So when Donald Trump's last full month in office, December 2020, there were 44,000 encounters at the southern border. Last month, the month of March, there were 221,000 encounters. So that's a difference of 177,000 people crossing the border. This crisis did not exist on Donald Trump's last day in office. Let's be clear about that. Yesterday, Secretary Mayorkas said he's got a 6-point plan to solve the crisis. What is his plan?
Well, we got that plan the day before the hearing. We haven't even had a chance to digest it. I mean, he's talking, again, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. And we don't, if you want a plan, what I would do is I would declare a national emergency, because this is truly a national emergency. I would deploy tens of thousands of National Guardsmen down there. I would remove the posse comitatus, or I'd suspend it so they can engage in police powers and secure our border, because our Border Patrol, they're overwhelmed. We had 2 million apprehensions last year, and our border's not closed. We don't control our border. The cartel does, and we need to send every resource that we could possibly muster to the border, and we need to do it now.
Yeah, they want to roll back Title 42, but they're pushing Democrats for a new COVID-19 bill. Ridiculousness on Capitol Hill. I know that Secretary Mayorkas will be back testifying today before the House Judiciary Committee. Keep us posted on that, Congressman Stephen Palazzo. Good to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
All right, we got a lot more coming up this morning here on Wake Up America. Coming up next, New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney joining us live at. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.